And back in the same old place.
You look like you're having a ball. Or should I say a rock?
Yeah, really. The immediate change here is that there aren't crickets in this area. There's actually a couple of cockroaches. And they have the same AI problems as before.
What a cock.
Now here's the funny thing. It just charged at me, which is what it does when you're far away and it's on the ground after you knock it down, but it just went back to its original place, so now we're going to have to do this again.
It looks so goofy charging at you, too.
I know. And it makes this weird sound like someone's like shaking a Norelco razor.
I'm not going to ask why you know what that sounds like.
Because I used to have an electric razor.
Oh, an electric razor. I thought you meant like shaking a... Never mind.
But yeah, anyway, we're just going to kill this with rocks. Technically, because we have a handgun now, we could use that, but the handgun is marginally more effective from a damage standpoint than rocks.
So you want to save it?
Pretty much. Even though there's actually a lot of handgun ammo around here. We're actually fully stocked on handgun ammo already. We have 215 shots.
Jesus.
Now, there are still crickets in this area. It's just they've all kind of been pushed off to the side by some of the cockroaches. Which, by the way, we're just going to kill the same old way, like bug spray, down, stab.
And my axe.
And we're going to head back here, because
Tasty island cuisine.
some things never change.
Heck yeah!
Oh, because getting that orange was so important. I mean, you can never have too many oranges. Gotta keep up that vitamin C, right?
I had something to say to that, but I completely forgot what it was.
Backing up. Why are you doing the old school FPS strategy where you just back up and attack the monsters?
Because that's actually decently effective here. Oh, damn it, I missed. Oh well, let's just do it again. Now, technically you could just run past a lot of this, but I kind of want to keep my health up. Because some of these things can just blindside you from behind. Like, I already explained what the crickets can do in that regard.
I was just gonna ask if you're faster than that.
Then what, the crickets?
Yeah, because, like, even if you're faster than them, if you run past them, they won't be able to catch up for long.
It depends on if their AI is having a good day or not. Because, like, sometimes they'll just hop straight after you, sometimes they'll swerve all over the place, sometimes they'll do that thing where they slowly turn toward you and then hop. But anyway, we found a mango, right... Oh. Oops, cut. Wait, no, I can't cut. Damn it.
I think you've got too many shrooms.
I had too many shrooms and now I'm forgetting where I am in the video. That's actually right after this, I think, so whatever. I don't care enough about this game to do a retake.
After a while, it kind of all just blends together.
Yeah, technically, I really shouldn't even show this, because it's just the same, like, combat strategy I've discussed before. But the problem is there are just so many roaches in this area. And it's not like they're particularly difficult to take down, it's just kind of annoying. Anyway, let's look up and get some mangoes out of this tree.
Yay, more health items that we probably won't need.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you before we started recording, but I've given up on the 100 health item plateau, and now I'm going for the 200 health item plateau.
If you hit 300, you have to yell this is Sparta.
No, I don't, because that joke is tired and lame.
Like the rest of us at River City Gamers?
Well, I'm tired. Wouldn't call myself lame, though. Anyway, there's handgun bullets if you need them. Because I sure as hell don't. This is another major change, is that instead of the centipedes from before, now it's all been replaced with maggots. And these are slightly more of a threat, I want to say, because technically any one of them can jump up and bite you. But you can always just walk over them, so whatever.
Or you could stomp on them like in Streetwise.
Referencing a bad game within a bad game.
Badception.
This is where I was actually confused, because in the first time through, a caterpillar actually dropped from that spot and attacked you. That doesn't happen there, but it does happen within the level somewhere.
How do you remember all this shit? Like, honestly, like, I would not remember every little detail like that.
Well, A, I've played this too much. B, I went back and watched the other parts so I remembered what happened. And C, I've played this too much.
Wait, how many times have you completed this game?
That looks
One.
tasty.
That's still enough. That's still quite a low amount for you to be able to remember everything, but I guess if you're doing it over again...
Keep in mind I
Doesn't
do
matter.
practice playthroughs before I actually record.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Now, you can't see it, but there's a bunch of boxes here instead of the heart mushroom from before. Only one of them actually has something in it, though.
Screw opening boxes when I can axe them.
What are you going to axe them?
I'm gonna axe them how they're doing.
Now we're going to do the same thing with this roach as we've done before, which is hit it from a rock from several dozen feet away. If I can get the angle right. There we go.
If you're not careful, you're gonna run out of your 99 rocks. You're gonna have to touch another rock.
Yeah, actually there's another rock to get ammo from at the end of this. Now, as I went to get it, there's the caterpillar.
Oh, it's one of those ones with the fur on its back, eh?
And I rolled directly into a plant trap. As you can see, that took off, what, a millimeter of my health bar?
Better use a healing item.
Nah, I'm good. By the time we get to the top of the ridge, it's going to regenerate to full health anyway, so whatever. 6 rocks kills one of these things, so, not a huge threat.
You know, it looked more threatening, but after you said it only took 6 rocks, I was like, oh.
Rocks are quite powerful in this game. Now, the AI pathing kind of screwed up with the crickets here, because half of them actually come down the ridge, half of them just get stuck at the top of the ridge.
I would so go after you if I could reach you. Damn you, hilly cliff. Damn you.
I would go after him, but I don't want to take fall damage.
It looks so dumb. It's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. But I can't get you.
Okay, for real though, there are a lot of crickets in this one section.
Oh yeah, what's the bonus objective for this one?
There are 3 bonus objectives. We're going to use the old, like, AI aggression line trick to kill the rest of these, but the bonus objectives are get 2 heart mushrooms, kill 20 toxic caterpillars, and find 2 bonus items in the hidden area.
Did you do all that?
Well, we're about to find out. And by about to find out, I mean you're still stuck here for another 15 minutes.
Well, fuck.
But yeah, there's another rock right here. And another thing they did to change this area was, instead of having the moths flying around, they have flies flying around. Which, they don't damage you, they're just kind of annoying. So I'm not really sure why they made this design choice. And another thing they did was, instead of having crickets at the bottom of the ravine, there's a bunch of caterpillars down here.
So this will make your objective a lot easier. Except for that damn fly.
Yeah.
I love how your character's like, eh.
I think it was supposed to be harder because they can technically do more damage than the crickets. But they're huge targets, so we're just going to sit up here and chuck rocks at all of them.
Shall we play the shooting gallery music? Ah, never mind.
Which shooting gallery music? Zelda?
Yes.
Probably couldn't hurt. Might make this more palatable. And the other thing is, there's rock piles right next to us. So there's no reason not to do this other than just being bored.
Okay, what's worse? This or the shooting gallery in friggin' Survivor?
I'm gonna say this. At least in Survivor, you felt threatened by some things now and then. And by the way, we're not gonna climb down, we're just gonna fall down. Because it's actually faster to do this. Also, you take no damage from falling and landing on your neck.
Yet if you just jump down from there, you'd probably take damage, right?
You can't jump down. That's how you have to get down there.
Okay. Is there falling damage in this game?
I've yet to find it.
Well, even if there was, I don't think you're going to be hurting for health.
Yeah, not exactly.
That looks tasty.
So, none of these items were consequential to us finishing the level, but if you're in a pinch, they're still kind of useful to have.
Hey, now we're talking.
And I'll be honest, I'm actually more interested in talking about the breadfruit we just got than pretty much anything else in this area right now. Because I actually did some research on breadfruit, and in this game it recovers a large amount of health, which breadfruit is actually really nutritious, but the thing is no one eats it because it tastes terrible.
Breadfruit, is that different from fruit cake?
Yes.
Because I know you can bake fruit cake into a loaf.
Well, people have been trying to find ways to, like, make breadfruit appetizing to, like, help out places that are suffering from starvation. By the way, this is the area where we found the bat before, but now it's just a bunch of centipedes. Anyway, back to breadfruit. There is actually a festival I found that people, like, have cook-offs to try and find different ways to incorporate breadfruit into food. But, I may have to actually try breadfruit sometime. I'm kind of intrigued by it. Oh, and here's a health item.
Speaking of breadfruit, here's a mushroom.
Now here's our huge dick move that this game pulls. I want you to listen real careful. You hear that? That's the noise a cricket makes when it attacks you, but we can't see them, so guess where they are?
Invisible?
They're inside the cabin.
I'm scared.
This isn't really a scary thing or a jump scare thing, it's like a why would you do this thing. But anyway, I'm going to be very careful about this and actually go out of my way to kill every last one of these crickets. Because they just pissed me off that much by doing this. Actually, there is another reason, but we'll get to that later. And more handgun bullets we don't need. Now, a couple actually got out of the cabin. So I'm actually going to go after them after I pick up another nutritious but not delicious breadfruit.
We should eat breadfruit at Kineticon.
If you can find it. Actually, if I can find it, I might incorporate it into the con burrito.
I would not suggest it.
Neither would I, but I'd do it anyway. I mean, the con burrito in general is a terrible idea, but... Anyway, let's go ahead and save, because this next part is going to take a little bit.
The con burrito needed some kind of sauce, like chocolate sauce or something.
Now, there is one thing I want to point out. You know how I was doing the downward finisher with the axe? Look at his right hand. Look how contorted it is.
I think he broke his wrist.
I think he's one of those people that can, like, dislocate their joints just purely by will.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, on to part 2.
Yeah.
By the way, I should note, when we previously did this area, I noted that I cut 2/3 of the video footage. I actually cut 3/4 of the video footage this time, because it was just so monotonous.
Alright, well, I thank you for that. So, you ready?
Let's do this. Now, I actually showed you this because there's something this game pulls right away that pissed me off. When you load in, the crickets are back.
Really?
Yeah. That's why
Really?
I made sure to kill every single cricket last time, was to show you this. And I actually had to stop playing for a little bit as soon as I got rid of all these crickets, because I was just so pissed off by this.
Because it's such bullshit.
In a word, yes. And I think that, yeah, that's all of them. Anyway, we're going to move ahead to this one area off to the side where the crickets have gathered again. Although, I will warn you right now, there's actually absolutely no reason to do this. Because unlike before, where there was a mushroom back around where they were gathering, nothing is there now, so this is actually completely pointless. I'm just doing this because I have a thing for killing bugs.
Do you hate bugs? Are you afraid of bugs?
Some bugs more than others.
I don't like wasps
That looks
or
tasty.
hornets or any of those variety.
Anything
But
that
like
bites or
spiders?
stings.
Pretty much anything that bites or stings. But I like spiders. Like, spiders will crawl up on my hand. Used to crawl up on my hand when I was working down here while I was using my mouse. I'd be like, oh, hey little guy, you need to get off my hand. I need that.
Technically, spiders aren't insects, but I see what you're going with.
Well, most people stereotype them as them, so it's like, whatever.
What's the expiration date on this?
And heart mushroom number 1.
It's so creepy that it actually beats like a heart, like, jeez.
It's like, do you really want to put this in your mouth? And here's the same cutscene that we saw before, except now we can actually do something about this. Now that we have the handgun, we are actually going to use that to shoot the bag down. And it becomes really funny when you figure out what's in the bag that was worth getting.
Because we couldn't throw something with, with a
Hey, now we're
sword or
talking.
something.
We shot down a
Really?
grenade.
Really?
Now, this is actually an item that's kind of interesting.
Blue
Now,
pendant, huh?
we haven't used accessories at all to this point, but now we're finally going to do it. Because the pendant we had before did nothing, but this one, you see how it said feels solid?
Yeah?
That's because this pendant actually helps increase your defense, I think. I actually looked all over trying to figure out like what pendant did what, and most of them, people like didn't have solid evidence on what half of the pendants did.
And there's no like way in the game where you can just get more information. Like there's not like you can like select it and then it'll give you a lot more information. You just have to like guess.
Nope, feels solid.
Don't you love it when the game you're playing doesn't tell you anything, and even nothing you can do to find out about it?
Yeah. Now that I think about it, though, that's actually the tagline for my football helmet and my shoulder pads and my knee pads and my elbow pads and the airbag in my car. Anyway, more cockroaches.
I was gonna say, did you want me to laugh?
I don't know, man. Outside of the cutscenes, it's really hard to laugh at anything in this game. It's like a humor vacuum.
If anything, I've been trying to mute myself so I don't yawn while you're talking.
Is that a shot at me or a shot at the game?
It's a shot at the game.
Oh, we got damaged by that, but you can't tell because we immediately regenerated the health.
And, I mean, you couldn't just use one of your million health items because you gotta save those for when you are never gonna run out of them.
I gotta save those for the party.
Here, everybody, take one of my 200 oranges.
We're about to enter secret area number 2. And this one is different from secret area number 1 because whereas the last one had a bunch of lizard women, this one has a bunch of canine men. And that actually becomes really, really annoying in this level.
Okay, this game is monkeys, lizard, people, canine people. I thought it was Escape from Bug Island, not Escape from the Island of really, really weird shit.
Well, the game wasn't originally called Escape from Bug Island. I keep going back to that. This is the worst goddamn thing. It sends flies after you to stun you, and then 2 canine men attack you. So you're almost guaranteed to take a hit.
Yeah, this part looks really annoying.
Easily the best thing you can do is just run away until the canine men stop following you. And then that'll give you an opportunity to take down the flies and then go back after the canine men. Which, I'm actually using the handgun for a change. How about that? By the way, we find a couple boxes of bullets in this, so we go right back to full ammo when we're done here.
It's like they want you to use the gun, so they give you more ammo.
The same thing happened here, it's just in another part. And my health is actually low enough that I am going to use a health item.
What a rare occurrence.
Can you guess which one?
Do you use what I think you use?
We're gonna use a heart mushroom.
Oh, I thought you were going to use the bread.
Oh, no. This is way more interesting, because you see, on top of filling our health completely, it also lengthens our health bar.
Jesus.
Now, you probably can't tell it lengthened the health bar, because it's a really small increase, but trust me, it did. And now we're going to get our first hidden weapon. I still can't decide if the sledgehammer is useless or useful. Because it's one of the most powerful weapons in the game, but look at how slow these swinging animations are.
Yeah, he might as well use a greatsword.
Yeah, as such, we're going to be sticking with the lance most of the time. And this is the other one.
Really?
Now the pitchfork is another two-handed weapon like the lance, Now it says, expect a big impact when stabbing. That's because this thing is useless as shit when you do the swinging attack.
Well, yeah, it's a fork.
And yet another reason I will be using the lance. Now when we went into the caves, there was nothing around us enemy-wise. But when we come out of the caves, there's a cockroach next to us. You probably couldn't see it, but... did you see the game freeze for a moment there when the cockroach hit me?
Yeah.
That's actually something that happens a lot when you're trying to switch weapons. See, it did it again. The game actually freezes for a moment because it's trying to despawn the weapon you used to have and put back in the weapon that you're switching to. So if you're in a section where you try to switch weapons real fast, you'll end up locking up the game.
Have you ever made the game crash by doing so?
Not yet. Now, this cockroach actually kind of took me by surprise. And the only reason I'm showing this one is because it'll show some of the impact the sledgehammer can have. See, in this case, I'm missing the finisher, but one hit with the sledgehammer and it's back down.
That's pretty good if they're like 2 feet in front of you.
And if they patiently wait for you to finish the animation.
Now we're talking.
Anyway, not much has changed about this section. You still got crickets to deal with, but there's not a can of food in the middle of that pile of crap like there was before. Instead, we get...
Umbrella mushroom.
yeah, the purple mushrooms which have a chance of damaging you if you eat them. We're not going to be using those for a while. Now,
You should do a run of this game where you only use the purple
okay,
mushrooms.
I was standing on the left side and it said that was handgun bullets. And it says that's handgun bullets, but when I go back to the left, it's a grenade now.
Okay.
It's actually supposed to be a grenade from the start. It's just the hitbox on the items was really screwed up.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Now this ivy is actually too thick for the sickle, but we got a machete a few stages back which says can chop thick ivy, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. And this will actually take us to a part of the game that we haven't been to before.
And of course, you're cutting it right where right where I'm no longer talking with you anymore.
Now this is kind of a bullshit thing, which is, you see how we didn't get 2 heart mushrooms?
Mm-hmm.
That's because you actually have to go through this area, get the 1 heart mushroom, then come back into this area from a different area, and get a 2nd heart mushroom in a different place that you can't access yet.
That's stupid.
Incredibly stupid.
Anyways, looks like you're having fun, so yeah.
I'm having so much fun. Kill me.
I love how on the sidebar it's fabulous and Pusha T live.
Oh, you see that too?
Yeah.
What else do you have? I have Your God-Sized Dream.
I have Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius review.
Top 10 Las Vegas.
Yeah, I have that too.
More magic coming to the Disney Magic.
Wait, we have all the same shit.
Sledgehammer.